Stability shoes are dead. The old method of placing a high arch support inside a shoe, it's a thing of the past, especially in this world of high stack, high-end performance trainers. But here's the thing, stability in shoes hasn't gone away, it's just evolved. Today we're going to show you 5 methods that modern running shoes incorporate stability in their shoes without placing an intrusive high arch. For years, stability shoes depended on having this high arch support underneath your foot. Some people found that it was intrusive, uncomfortable, and whilst it tried to provide stability to the shoe, it didn't keep your foot centered in the shoe. Thankfully, shoe technology has come a long way, and now we have different methods of stability without affecting the freedom of movement within the shoe. So let's dive in to how these shoe brands provide stability. First up, let's talk about sidewalls. Now, sidewalls are found in the upper part of the shoe, and they're typically found mostly in the heel and in the midfoot. Now, they come up along the inner aspect and outer aspect of the mesh, and they provide a wall or an element of stability to reduce the amount of motion that your foot can move side to side. Alongside that, some shoes have them all the way up to the forefoot, and it reduces the amount of pronation moment or pronation forces as you go to push off. This is a really nice way of providing stability. It stops your foot from sliding on top of the midsole, and it's something that you don't necessarily feel is pressing into your foot. Brands like Brooks, ASICS, Hoka do an excellent job of providing these sidewalls without that intrusive feel. And while sidewalls provide stability from above, you can also get stability from the ground upwards, and that's where we look at sole flare and having a wide base of support. So sole flare is where the midsole comes out broader than where the foot sits in the bed. An excellent example of that is the ASICS Novabass 4. As you can see, especially in the forefoot, we've got a much wider base of support, and the sole comes out at an angle, increasing that base of support. By having an increased contact surface area with the ground, it provides that extra bit of stability underneath your foot. So an excellent method of stability, super simple. All it's doing is increasing that base of support underneath. Then we have 3 different types of support that individual brands provide. So with Hoka, you've got their J-frame, and that's an element of denser material and cushioning underneath the inner aspect of the midsole. So as you can see, it's got a darker grey material, which is its J-frame, which is slightly denser, that runs from the front of the shoe all the way back to the heel, and that provides more resistance to inward movements or to pronation forces as you apply pressure to it when you move throughout the full length of the shoe, providing support throughout the gait cycle. This is an excellent method of reducing pronation forces without pushing up into your foot. As a result, it provides extra stability without compromising the comfort within your shoe. Then Brooks do this in a slightly different way. They've got a guide rail system where you have denser material on both sides of the outer aspect of the shoe, so the inner and the outer aspect of the shoe, and this keeps your foot centered in the shoe as you move. So we like to think of it as if you're at a bowling alley and you put up the railings on the side. It reduces the amount that your foot can move side to side, keeping it completely centered in the shoe throughout the gait cycle. Then the 5th way that a shoe can do it is something like the Mizuno Wave Inspire, where they've got the wave energy plate underneath the midsole. As you can see, it moves from side to side, so it helps guide your foot as you move through the gait cycle. The geometry of the shoe influences how your foot moves. It's something that if you're really aware of, you can feel your foot doing as you run or as you walk, but it doesn't push up into your foot like you would get in a traditional arch support. So there you have it. Stability hasn't gone, it's just evolved. We need it more than ever, especially as we move into this more maximalist time where we have lots of cushioning. Having a high stack, lots of cushioning creates instability. So these methods of sidewalls, extra base support, sole flare, guide rails, energy plates, they help keep our foot nice and stable without being intrusive, allow for freedom of movement, and provide stability all at the same time. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you found the video interesting, please like it and subscribe to the channel for similar content.